Perfect Talkers, it's your guy DJ Playboy. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's go. On this episode, we gotta talk about your man Donald Trump catching that federal indictment. Also, New York City was covered in this orange apocalyptic haze. Where did that come from, and why were so many eastern cities covered in it? Also, your guy Jamie Foxx responds to rumors that his health complications were caused by the COVID vaccine. And also, Tyler James Williams responds to rumors about his sexuality and shows why that type of speculation could be dangerous. That and much, much more. Perfect Talk Podcast, baby.
This your man Keith from the Perfect Talk Podcast. To get caught up on everything DJ Playboy, go to perfecttalkpodcast.com. Again, that's perfecttalkpodcast.com, the home of the Perfect Talk Podcast.
DJ Playboy.
What's good, y'all? It's your guy DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast. And you know, I'm here rocking solo dolo for y'all doing the damn thing, man. How's everybody out there? Your boy Pliccapeezy is sore, man. I can't front. I ran a 5K yesterday. Yeah, you know what I mean? My daughter's part of a running program called Girls on the Run. And they, at the end of the program, you know, they do a 5K to celebrate the season. And yeah, you know, you can volunteer to ride, to run with them, walk, whatever it is you're going to do. You can watch in the stands, however you're going to feel. But I say, yeah, I'm running. You know what I mean? I just turned 39. You get a little older, you want to start proving some physical feats. And I said, yeah, I'm going to run a 5K. I've never done it before. You know, got to knock that off my bucket list. And it was a great time. You're definitely going to hear me talk about it on some future episodes with my guy Keith and, of course, Spec. But, like, exhilarating. You know what I mean? I feel great. I'm a little sore next day, 24 hours later, but well worth it. So anybody out there that's ever thought about, you know, running a 5K or didn't think they could do it, your boy Plicca did it. So if I did it, you definitely sure as hell could do it, because I ain't trained for it too much. I mean, I go to the gym, don't get it twisted, but I ain't do no specific, like, 5K training or nothing like that. So your boy got through it. We did it good. Did it with my girl, did it with my daughter, and we all made it through. So great times. I'll be honest with y'all. I just ain't want to come last place out of us all, you know what I mean? And of course, my daughter, you know, she's full of energy, so she came first. But I beat my girl, so I still got bragging rights in that regard. Shout out to everybody rocking out there on the YouTube, watching us. You know what I mean? Yo, no cameras this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, I apologize. I know I usually do the video, but getting away from the cameras just for this one episode. We getting right back on it. But if you're listening, still go check the YouTube out, because I'm pretty sure, you know, we're going to have the video, you know, a little pieces of media for whatever stories we're talking about, whether it's photos or videos, audio. So go out there and check out the YouTube. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube already, go check it out and subscribe, because, you know, we love it out there. We're doing big things. And like I said, we're going to get right back to the cameras. I just couldn't do the cameras today. I'm catching up with some, I'm going to be transparent with y'all. We in the trust tree. So I'm catching up with a lot of work on my website. I just want to get that up to date. Like, I literally want it to be, I drop an episode, it's available on the website, not this like 2 days later stuff I've been doing. I've been slacking, you know what I mean? It's just me, you know what I mean? It's Plicca Incorporated over here, and I'm rocking out, you know what I mean, doing a lot of the grunt work on top of the talent work. So that's just what it is. I'm not complaining about it, but just to let myself catch up, I was like, no cameras this episode. Just gonna get right back on the mic, old school, like we started this thing, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody out there that's been rocking with us from the beginning. I know you've seen the evolution of this podcast go in a few different directions. From, you know, we started out with just me, Keith, Ayo Niche, you know what I mean? And then it was me and Keith holding it down for a while. Me and Spec been doing it for the past year. Me and Keith still, you know, rocking out sporadically, but, you know, whenever Keith gets some time, he hops on an episode. And of course, you've gotten used to me doing these solo episodes where I just hop on the mic and talk to y'all. And really with these solo joints, my vision for this podcast was to be a buddy podcast. Like, I love the type of podcast where I could just listen to two friends talk, and that's kind of the vision I have for this podcast. But everybody's schedule don't always work out. People got families, people got things to do. So what I try to do with these solo episodes is still come in here, you know, chat it up with y'all for a little bit. Usually they be a little bit shorter, but I just want to keep y'all informed on what's going on. I feel a responsibility to the audience out there. Y'all been rocking with me, and I just want to make sure y'all stay informed. Y'all could be out there arguing, talking real facts. I feel a responsibility to come with the facts, number one. Know what I'm talking about, and just keep you informed. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't talking about something 3 weeks later after it happened. You know what I mean? Unless it's the catching up with Keith segment, where we might take it back a week or two just to see how Keith feel about something, or to see If spec got respect and speculation, I might take it back a few weeks or so. But for the most part, I try to keep y'all up to date with what's going on. So that's why I'll be rocking out here with the solo joints with y'all. And something we started doing specifically on the solo episodes are Plicca's Spotlight Story. You already know. It might not be the biggest headline that happened this week, but it's something that I caught my attention and I want to shine a light on it for the people out there. So let's get right into it. This week's Spotlight Story is about the Abbott Elementary star Tyler James Williams. You might know him from Everybody Hates Chris fame back in the day. I know he had a season or two on Ballers on HBO. Famous guy. I've been putting in work. 30-year-old man. I guess internet speculation in the past couple months had speculation wondering if he was gay, if he was part of the LGBTQ community, and he finally decided he was going to respond to it and really just let people know how he feels to address these gay rumors. He put out a lengthy post and started off saying, usually I wouldn't address stuff like this, but I feel like it is a conversation that is bigger than me. I'm not gay, but I think the culture of trying to find some kind of hidden trait or behavior that a closeted person lets slip is very dangerous. Like I said, this was a long quote, but he said a lot of things about how having a speculation about whether a person is gay or not, to engage in that is kind of the same behavior that has homosexual individuals afraid to come out the closet, right? And with this being Pride Month, you see it being a rough month for LGBTQ relations, right? Target decided, maybe we went a little too hard in the paint with some of our Pride Month merchandise and just the placement of where they put it, and they moved some stuff towards the back of the store. Whether you agree with it, they went through that. Prior to Pride Month, you saw the Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light controversy happen. I spoke on the previous episode about a new law in Uganda where death penalty is, a reality for people who identify as part of the LGBTQ community. So you see all these, and then, even right here in the States, you'll see a lot of anti-drag queen law and things like that going down in states all over the country. Anti-medication to transition, towards children. You see laws against that. People with their views against that. So to see someone take up come to the defense of the LGBTQ community, and not in an attempt where he was like, nah, I'm not gay, I would don't ever identify me like that, like to look down on it or something. He was like, nah, I'm an ally to their community, and I think, having this type of corny debate on whether I am or I'm not is very dangerous, and it doesn't lead to anything. It also, his words, not mine, excuse me, it leads to forcing straight males to have to live under oftentimes unrealistic, less free, and limits individual expressing. And that's true. I think what he's trying to say there is that, it leads to the stereotype that a straight male is supposed to talk a certain way, walk a certain way, dress a certain way, where now we're limited to our true individualities and things that we want to express in ourselves. So it's true. You saw this recently in the past few months before Jonathan Majors had gotten in trouble. He was in the news because, him and Michael B. Jordan had taken some pictures that people wanted to, have jokes. It's the internet, so of course people going to want to have jokes. But it also led to a bigger thing. Is like, why do we automatically have to be homosexual if we take a certain type of picture? Like, why can't we just be, two brothers that care for each other, or, enjoy working with each other, or whatever the case may be? I never really got into that culture of wanting to know whatever a person's sexual status was. Like, I had a close friend who I didn't know what they identified as for many years. And I didn't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care what anybody does behind closed doors, unless you're the person I'm living behind closed doors with. Whatever you identify is, or whether you choose to keep that to yourself is, that's your thing. But there is a culture out there that I think is very one, dangerous, and two, just corny of like trying to find down low. I feel like it happens a lot to black men. I'm not sure how much it happens in other communities, and feel free to comment if you feel like this happens in your community as well. But definitely in the black community, trying to like find a black man who's like on the down low. He's been hiding his homosexuality. He's gay on the low. Yeah, I feel like there's a culture of that, like that just exists, and it's just like, for what, for why? And I'm sure there are people who have discovered someone they were friends with might have been closeted, but I mean, isn't that their right? Don't they have the right to do that? Like, they got to tell you everything that they doing. So, like I said, there's nothing good that could come out of stuff like that. And I want to applaud Tyler James Williams of Abbott Elementary fame for speaking up, because he also didn't have to write out 2 paragraphs worth of how he felt in an attempt to not only let the world know that he's a heterosexual man, or at least he doesn't identify as gay, but also to educate him on how ignorant the practice of what they're doing is. So salute you, Tyler James Williams, and keep teaching the youths out there, man. And next up, we're gonna take it to my favorite segment, man. It's called Have You Heard?
Keep connected.
I got a question. Now the question I ask you is, how bad you want to know that?
These right here are the biggest headlines, and I bring them to the table, and I want to see if y'all heard about them. It's just what's going on in the past week. Things have been happening. You cannot turn on the news without knowing your guy Donald Trump has received another indictment, and this one is not for no hush money, election money nonsense. Nah, they want to know what's up with them classified documents, doggy.
My administration, I'm going to enforce all laws concerning the protection of classified information. No one will be above the law.
You know what I mean? Special counsel Jack Smith returned a historic indictment against former President Donald Trump this past week. Looks like he's been charged with 37 counts, including 31 counts of willful retention of national defense information. It also includes 6 counts of obstruction charges, concealment related charges, all from this one incident. This one indictment. Wild boy. That's all I gotta say, man. Wild boy. They really got Trump because your guy has a history of throwing his lawyers under the bus to get himself out of trouble, and his lawyer this time was like, nah, I'm not going out like that. And they was keeping some records on what my man was saying, what he was telling him to do, things that he would say out loud, such as, wouldn't it be better if we just told them we don't have anything here, in response to their subpoena for documents. I think another attorney recorded him saying, Donald Trump saying, allegedly making a plucking motion, which the attorney took that as, why don't you take them to your hotel room, and if there's anything really bad in there, pluck it out. Allegedly. Trump also showed individuals the classified documents on at least 2 occasions, for no damn reason. And he was in the conversation that's recorded at the time of showing him. He was well aware that they were classified documents. I know everybody's seen the picture of everything, the files that he had in the bathroom with the chandelier. He had them in a shower. I don't know if you guys seen the picture of when they fell on the floor and they got newspaper clippings right next to classified documents. Like, whose man's is this, man? This is the first time a former president has been charged with crimes in federal court. And I know there's people out there who, well, even Trump himself, his thing is like, it's a witch hunt, right? Why aren't they going after Mike Pence? Why aren't they going after Joe Biden? And what really separates this one is the obstruction. It seems like he was well aware that he knew he had documents he shouldn't have had, trying to avoid giving them back, and even going to certain lengths to try to hide them. You're a wild boy, Trump. Straight up, man. I don't know if this is going to affect anything, though. And I've seen Trump have, some serious charges thrown at him and just, brushed them off and moved on. it's historic, man. My man Trump. It's funny when reality turns into the punchline, right? The comedian's joke, and it's like we're gonna let Trump, have. Remember that one? The comedians saying we're gonna let Trump have the nuclear codes. We're gonna trust this guy with that. We're gonna trust him with American nuclear secrets, and he showed us why we shouldn't be, right? For those who don't know, Mar-a-largo, where the documents are found, is a pretty public place. People have movie premieres there, weddings, all types of events. So it's, for instance, like I DJ, I might DJ at a hotel. I've been in the back rooms of certain hotels where only the staff gets to go, you know what I mean? Because I'm just happen to be a DJ. Now imagine someone doing a bigger event, you know what I mean? They might need to check out this room, check out that room. Who knows what they could stumble upon? And your guy just has them all over the place. So we're going to see what happens here. Trump is saying that this is a weaponization of the DOJ by this current administration, but also what else is he going to say? You know what I mean? What else can he go with? He has to get his followers riled up. But this one's pretty interesting because it's some pretty serious charges and it looks like some pretty serious evidence against him. I believe each of these charges have like a fine of $250,000, but the bigger thing is each of them, I think, carry a penalty of 5 to 20 years in prison. So they just need to get them on one, man. Let's see what happens here, though. Have you heard? I guess in fashion news, man, if you ain't know, the mask is back. Yep, the dreaded face mask made a return to New York and East Coast residents this week. And why was it back? Some smoky haze, man. I don't know if you know, but there's some crazy Canadian wildfires going down. Shout out to everybody in Canada dealing with that, but about 400 plus fires going down. About, I think, more, let me get the number, 239 of those, so about more than half, are about burning out of control. 90 million people were put under air quality alerts due to smoke this week in cities such as New York, Washington, D.C., Detroit, Boston, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, and more. This was due to hazardous air quality. That could be very dangerous to be out in, to be breathing. States such as New York, we're told stay home if you can, because we're not just talking unhealthy. We're not just talking very unhealthy. We're not just talking unhealthy to sensitive groups. No, this is hazardous to anybody to be outside. This is the equivalent of smoking 6 cigarettes from an article I read. So it was something we never seen before, but even the visual of seeing the New York City skyline have this, been dubbed this week as an apocalyptic glow. And you've seen the pictures, man. The skyline was just orangey, smoky, foggy in a mug, foggy in a mug. And we actually, I live upstate New York, so I encountered it like maybe a day before New York City got that, and it wasn't to that level, but it was definitely. I took a picture and sent it to my homies. I think I might have posted it to Instagram, and it looked like I put the sepia filter on it that just makes everything kind of like reddish. You know what I mean? Brownish. Yeah, it had that kind of like burnt flow to the picture. So they seen what we had going on out here, and I remember like telling my homies, yo, I think this is due to the Canadian wildfires, because the news wasn't really reporting it yet. But as soon as that thing the next day hit New York City, you seen everybody was talking about it. Everybody, had something to say, and like I said, thoughts and prayers out to everybody that one had to deal with that. Due to just the way the air was flowing from Canada, but definitely also to the people in Canada dealing with that. I imagine that has to be just scary things to go through, you know what I mean? And it's on us, man. We can't just keep hearing these stories and ignoring them. Like we hear about it in California, we hear about them all over, but these wildfires are starting to happen, and this is due to climate change. This is due to hotter conditions. This is due to drier conditions. So it is on us to start making those moves right now to make this world better than how we got here. You know what I mean? And the fact that we have the knowledge, is now the time to start taking the action, because there's probably not much more time left to take action. If you don't believe in climate change, man, I don't know what to tell you at this point. But you know what I mean? Having to see them images of New York City with an orange glow, it was different for me. It was something that I think everyone is historic. You never seen it like that. It was actually one of the worst air quality on record. You know what I mean? one of the worst 4 days that we had this week were of all time. 2 of them happened in New York City this week. So yeah, that's enough to make you feel like, yo, it's time to figure this thing out. Let's figure out this air quality thing, because shit is crazy out here, man. And next up, we're gonna talk about, have you heard my guy Jamie Foxx? If you don't know by now, Jamie Foxx has been hospitalized. Not sure why. There's been speculation. It's just been called as a medical complication. Some people believe it was a blood clot. Some people believe it was a stroke. And a celebrity reporter, his name is AJ Benza, was on the Dr. Drew podcast, and told him that a source inside the room with Foxx told him that Jamie Foxx was left partially paralyzed and blind after being pressured into getting a COVID booster shot.
I had somebody in the room who let me know that Jamie had a blood clot in his brain after he got the shot. He did not want the shot, but the movie he was on, he was pressured to get it.
We do not know yet from anybody in his family that there is any veracity to the claims that are being made by AJ Benza, but what we can say is that they have not disputed the claims.
Basically trying to blame the vaccine for whatever it is that Jamie Foxx suffered from, and he said that the unnamed source, according to the unnamed source, Foxx developed a clot in his brain after he got the shot. So this started to go viral and get a little bit of buzz this week. Everybody was, reposting it if you're an anti-vaxxer. Candace Owens, stated that the silence from Jamie Foxx's camp leads her to at least to believe that this might be true. And I'm assuming a lot of other people felt the same way as Candace did. But I guess Jamie Foxx's reps decided now enough was enough, and they decided to come out and address the vaccine rumor. Said that AJ Benja's claim was completely inaccurate. Even Benza even said that Foxx's family is lying about his health and his current condition. Rep disputed that as well. Jamie Foxx, whatever he's going through, is obviously not what he planned to be when he started off this year, right? So definitely want to give the respect to him to recover and get back and tell his own story. But to try to tie the anti-vaccine thing into it is getting old. Anti-vaxxers, and it already was, but it's just disrespectful. Anything that happens, right? It was DeMar Hamlin on the field. Well, that must be due to the vaccine. It's like, come on now, it's corny, bro. It really is, because people are suffering out there from all types of stuff, and to completely turn this into a vaccine argument in 2023 is corny. Let Jamie Foxx recover, let Jamie Foxx get back. Because he's a great entertainer. Definitely want to see him get back. When it's rough because you can't take a side on something like this, because there's always gonna be well, why didn't Jamie Foxx come out and say it himself? And he doesn't have to. He doesn't owe anything to the public. The man's entertained us. He could come back out to the public when he feels comfortable coming back out to. He spoke to his reps. They disputed the claim. So let him recover. Let him do what he's gonna do. I guess they're back in production on his movie. It's a Netflix movie he was filming at the time called Back in Action. So it looks like they're back in production using a body double for Jamie Foxx's scenes. Yeah, life is going to go on. People are going to make things up about you, but the real thing that matters, Jamie, is get back on your feet, get back to 100% where you can come back and entertain people to the point where we need it. Because Jamie Foxx is one of my favorite entertainers of all time, man. I'll always remember my guy in college used to play his comedy special all the time, on repeat, and then watch the bonus footage at the end of him singing, and to the Jamie Foxx show, to his In Living Color scenes, Jamie Foxx is a hell of a performer, and then that's not even mentioning the movie career, right? So shout out to Jamie Foxx, man. Get back on your toes. It's sad that at a time when you should be focused on recovering, you got to think about, coming out and speaking out and making comments about shit like this. And to AJ Benza, maybe what you are talking is what you think is the truth, and it might be the truth. But if it's not, bro, to spread something like that would be crazy. So You know what I mean? Like I don't know what the truth is, and I'm not gonna pretend to know what the truth is here, but I'm gonna just say, like, I don't. It's just bad karma to put something on somebody if that's just how you feel politically, but you really don't got any truth, or maybe you were misled. You know what I mean? Get all the facts before you put something out there. So we'll see what it is though. I'm sure the truth will come to light. You know, that's something that I got a lot of faith in, and I'm continuously just gonna say, Jamie Foxx, thoughts and prayers, get back on your feet, brother. You are missed out here in the entertainment industry. And that, my friends, is another episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast. You can find your guy DJ Playboy on Twitter at DJ Playboy. You can also find me on Instagram at Pliccapeezy, PLICCAPEEZY. Also follow Perfect Talk on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio. You can go check out our website, www.perfecttalkpodcast.com, for every episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast. My radio show, The Night Shift, and the radio show I do with my brother, DJ show called Money Talks Radio, man. Also, every episode of Perfect Talk Podcast is available right up on there and on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever your favorite podcasts are available. So go check that out and enjoy it, you know what I mean? And like I said, check out the website, www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. I'm also putting up the motivational moments up there on the weekly. We got a new segment up there for new releases, whenever new releases drop in the hip-hop world, albums, singles, whatever it may be. I'm putting them up there too. So we trying to, you know, entertain the masses in all types of different ways, man. What have I been watching lately? I've been checking out the NBA playoffs. You know what I mean? I think Denver's going to take it. It's not looking great. 3-1, I believe, is where it's at right now. Oh, no. Is it 3-1? Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, 3-1. So I guess they're heading back up to Denver now. So we're going to see what it is. But, yes, I don't know. It's kind of getting a little... Is it? You know what I mean? Like, I think Denver got it. So it's like I was rooting for the Heat. It was a great Cinderella story to see the 8th seed make it all the way this far, knock out a bunch of Goliaths on the way here. But yeah, I'm not losing faith. You know, we still want to see. I'm still rooting for Miami, but Denver's a beast, man. There's juggernaut. They took out LeBron and them. You know what I mean? They're knocking everybody out on their way here. So I think they knocked out the Suns, right? KD and them too. Devin Booker. You know what I mean? So. It might be their time, you know what I mean? The Joker might do what Carmelo couldn't out there in Denver. But shout out to my guy Carmelo too. He just retired, man. Shout out to him. And I'm trying to think, what else have I been watching? I've been reading a lot of books, y'all. I've been on my book. I'm heavy right now. Like I told y'all, I'm revamping some things. We figuring out what the direction of the podcast and just also the direction for life. I've been trying to really educate myself. So a lot of audio books lately. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that when I finish some new ones. I actually bought some courses, you know, I'm in different facets of life and things I wanted to learn about. So I'm really trying to take this second half of the year, educate myself and really immerse myself and figure out what it is that I like to do the most, you know what I mean? And how I could bring that to entertaining y'all and educating y'all and represent for everything I do music-wise, podcast-wise, and beyond that. So stay tuned. Check out DJ Playboy. What did we learn this episode, man? Don't spread false rumors, you know what I mean? Unless you got all the proof to back it up, because it could bring bad karma. We really got to get this climate change thing under control, because these wildfires do not look like they're going anywhere anytime soon, and it's getting unsafe for everybody. You know, when things start affecting New York City, that's when everybody's like, hold on, now it's an issue, now it's a problem. So, you know what I mean? Do not store classified documents in your bathroom. You know what I mean? And show them off to people like they trading cards, like your boy allegedly did, old Trumpito. And start speculating, you know what I'm saying, whether somebody's LGBTQ or not. Who cares? Like, let them rock. Let them do what they're going to do. Unless you're trying to get with them, don't even worry about it. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to Tyler James Williams again for addressing that and educating the masses in a great way. And I'm going to tell you, like I tell you all the time, spread love is the Brooklyn way, man. We up out of here. Peace.